going to talk about what happens when you're usually the cheerful one, the optimistic one, the encouraging one, the person who's always sunshiny and having a bright perspective about life in general. And then all of a sudden, you don't. Because that's what happened to me. Starting yesterday, last night, and into today, I was cranky, I was angry, I was lonely, I could not get things done, and it was just rolling around in my brain, and I had no idea where my optimistic, happy self was, and no idea of how to bring her back. Today we're going to talk about something that we don't normally talk about. In fact, we usually shy away from it because it's kind of like, how do these pieces come together? Kind of like a paradox. But before we get started and jumping right in, I would like to say welcome and good morning, love. So glad that you're here. Please stick around until the end because I'm going to give you a step-by-step approach to go from that cranky, angry person who you might not be comfortable showing up as and get back to the encouraging, constructive, helpful, soulful one that you usually are or would like to get back to being. So this morning I was journaling and I came upon this quote from Rainer Rilke, who's one of my favorite thinkers, and he said, and I wrote this in my journal, "You know the flower bends when the wind wants it to, and you must become like that. That is, filled with deep trust." Seriously? I mean, come on. Rainer Rilke and I usually get along great, but I just sat there and said, hey, I don't do the trust thing very well. That's an ongoing thing I'm still growing into. It was kind of like a kick in the face because when you haven't fully developed trust or when you're working on trust, it is so much easier to feel lost and to feel hopeless and to feel disengaged and to feel like, does life even matter anymore? And how can I make it matter now? Isn't it too late? Can I keep doing this? Well, when I went to sleep last night and woke up this morning, I felt all of that. But the thing is, that flower that bent in the wind, it was bending in the wind, it was adjusting, and it was still a flower. So I can be angry, I can be disgruntled, I can be in a bad mood, I can question my purpose in life, all of that stuff. But that is not who makes me me. Those moods, they happen. Crankiness happens. It's real. It's authentic. Just like the rest of our life is too. When I woke up this morning, I still had life to do. I still had to pick up groceries. I still had to take care of my house. I still needed to get my work done. I still needed to make a YouTube video. So I did what I do. I mean, my morning practices and routine weren't so great, but I still had to go to the store. So I went to the store and I bumped into the cashier named Trudy. I'd never met Trudy before. But when I was in the kind of mood I was in, uncomfortable with being that cranky person, I had to express it to someone. I live by myself. I didn't have anybody to talk to and process with this morning. So I said to Trudy, Trudy, I'm not having such a good day. I'm used to being the optimistic, friendly, obnoxiously happy morning person. But today, I feel mad. I feel cranky. I feel so unlike me. And she looked at me, Trudy, with her hair in a ponytail. She clearly colors her hair too. And she put on makeup. And she said, which I hadn't done, she looked at me and she said, "Oh, you're that person." And I was like, "Yeah, Trudy, I'm that person." It was so fun to talk to her though. I lightened up just by having that conversation. So then I decided, well, as long as I'm here, I might go out on that trail over there that I didn't go on last weekend. I'll just go on my morning walk because morning walks tend to make me feel better. Perhaps getting out there on the trail would help me to lighten up a little bit. I was getting ready to tell you about how I've had a really cranky morning, which is true. And then I opened the car door. The air just smelled so good. Very much like perfume you would wear in middle school. Kind of a little bit overly floral, but still grounded and earthy. This is the reason why these I think they're wild roses. Oh my goodness. They're here in abundance. I'm on the McDade Trail in Milford, Pennsylvania, and just taking a short walk this morning. I had some errands to do and figured I would fit my morning walk in. My morning walk really has very few have-tos. I'm just trying to make sure it's at least 10 minutes long, which is great for beginner walkers and for me, who takes her morning routine perhaps too seriously. Thing is, when every conversation becomes a complaint, a grievance, a look at things about how life isn't fair and how everything is bad, you start to pollute yourself and the world around you. I believe it's a sign of discomfort, that something's gone out of whack. Choosing to go for this walk, you may not have a path like this where you are, but just leaving where you are and looking around. And on this particular walk, I found walking sticks left by strangers for me to use. That's why I was carrying one earlier. Those wild roses unexpectedly reminded me of earlier days. Now, middle school is a pretty rotten time, but I've come to remember that fondly. And all the small details that I could notice, the tiny flowers, the rocks, the pebbles, the bugs, all of it. Now, none of these things fixed my problems. No, not at all. It's up to us to make the choice to not be cranky and complaining all the time. It's up to us to say that is not who we are. It is a moment in time. You can be cranky and still be that purposeful person. You can bend and then stand. In theater, we call this stealing focus. The roses are so beautiful. Oh my goodness. They're thorny and they hurt when you get too close. And I was wondering, how can I be with the roses and not get hurt? How can we be with thorny things, painfully beautiful things? Perhaps a better question is, and not get overwhelmed by it. When I was out on my walk, there was even a tree that reminded me of a Mary Oliver poem. Let's listen to that and look at it right here. All afternoon it rained. Then such power came down from the clouds on a yellow thread, as authoritative as God is supposed to be. When it hit the tree, her body opened forever. When you're feeling unhappy, what is it opening you to? We've moved beyond just being cranky into some of the really hard stuff, like being lonely, feeling hurt, beautiful, painful things. This is why you might want to take out your journal right now and think about that bit of poetry by Mary Oliver there, talking about the tree being split open. That is beautiful and poignant. Now, the tree didn't complain. The tree is still standing there proudly, scarred and beautiful. The roses, they're thorny. They might be considered the plantification of being cranky or ornery, or they may simply be protecting their beauty because otherwise they might hurt. They're maybe in that trust pile. They don't trust much. And that last question that I asked about beauty and pain, have you thought much about that yet? Or did it just slide right past you because it was too much? Perhaps you might want to jot that into your journal or put it in your memory bank to come back. I'll put it in the description below so that you can copy these prompts and use them in your reflection, in conversations, or in journaling. My notebooks are actually some of my closest friends because I trust them to listen to me. My notebooks have never, ever disappointed me. Those walking sticks that I found, here's another shot of them with me talking. It'll be on a short. They weren't offering certainty. They were offering a help. No strings attached. They didn't say, you better return this stick here. They were just there waiting. Whoever put them there was pre-thinking that you might, I can't believe this emotion. They were thoughtful enough to know that people might come along who would need a stick. like my dad did regularly. He usually had to hunt us down though. And he was too stubborn to get trekking poles. All of these things, the tree, the walking sticks, the roses, the pebbles on the path, they were simply going on with their life. Just like I was going along with my life when I was chatting with Trudy. All of it. They weren't getting stuck in labeling themselves as painful, as torn open, as lonely, although they could be. They were simply doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I believe all of us have a reason for being. That's why we're here, right? All of that participation in life was an invitation to me to get over myself, to not fall into that trap of, I am so cranky. The I am is identifying myself as cranky. Here's how we can do that differently. And I created a PDF for you to work with to kind of hold on to these thoughts. And with that, there's also a journaling question for you to write on. So there's a link in the description also to download that below. And I'll put one on the screen if I remember. Please, Julie, remember. Notice I did not say, I am a forgetful person. Remember, aging joyfully does not mean you have to be cheerful all the time. It means that we need to be authentically who we are in that moment and allow that moment to be a part of life, not our forever identifier. We can allow loneliness without it becoming isolation. Remember, solitude is like the grounded way of being lonely. I'm alone a lot, and I'm very rarely lonely. Every once in a while, like the other night, I was feeling lonely. I wished that I had someone to chat with, and I ended up healing that by going on a walk in the woods. You don't have a woods? You can walk down the street. You can go on YouTube is a good way. I know a lot of people hang out in live streams. That's a good way to combat loneliness. There's a lot of great folks out there. If you need some recommendations, let me know. And also, you can check my live schedule. I have all the month of June, all of them booked out already, which is new for me. Joy is never the absence of perceived negative emotions. In fact, joy is embracing whatever comes along with grounded optimism as a driving force behind it, not toxic positivity. We're not going to put on layers of, well, you should be grateful. Well, think of the others who don't have all the things that you have, or marginalizing things that people may say. Half the time they don't really know they're being marginalized. They're marginalizing you. Half the time they don't know any better. So we need to remember that when that comes up and not criticize them, because they're on their path too. They are on their path too. Are you ready to go on to the most important part of this video? The most important way to heal that unhappiness, that negativity, that chronic, cranky, I don't feel good place. Instead of naming a feeling as an identifier, as part of your identity, such as, I am hopeless. I am a hopeless person. Instead, you can say, I am feeling hopeless today. I am angry. I am an angry person. Or, hey, I'm feeling angry and upset today. Or, I am experiencing anger today. Hopefully someone you know will say, well, may I help you with that? Or, would you like to talk about that? Or, tell me more. Now, if you are experiencing anger, if you are feeling hopeless, this is a great time to go into your journal. And as you're writing, you can just say, tell me more. Tell me more. What else? And just keep writing. Just keep writing. And as you'll learn, when I am leading my own writing exercises, I always end with gratitude. So if you're writing and writing and writing and writing and writing and you just feel yourself getting amplified, I always suggest taking a deep breath and moving back through gratitude. I'm grateful that I took time to write today. I'm grateful that I explored these feelings more deeply. I'm grateful that I had a pencil and paper to write on. I'm grateful for this drink of water. I'm grateful for this video. I'm grateful the way that person left that comment. It really helped me turn things around. Or I'm grateful that person left a comment saying that they're experiencing anger, so I know that I'm not alone. That's a not so subtle hint that I'd love to see your comments. If after journaling and if after talking to friends, you're still feeling low, I hope that you will do one thing, one small thing, to create evidence that you're still living your life, that you're still open to having experiences that will ultimately make you feel good, better than you were before. Like me, when I went on that walk, after chatting with Trudy, after being angry and cranky for a good 12 plus hours, which is rare for me. That's just my personality type. I'm not bragging on either side. But for me, getting outside, taking that walk, experiencing the poles, the roses, the everything, I remember that it isn't the cranky that identifies me. It's the willingness to continue experiencing life, even while feeling lousy. And a devotion to not stay in that place that I know doesn't help me to stay in that place. And not shaming myself for being there. Because we all get angry. We all feel lonely sometimes. We all get discouraged. It's okay. Continue walking. Continue journaling. Continue breathing deeply. Conversation resonated with you and you don't follow me yet, you don't subscribe, I hope that you will subscribe. I hope that you'll comment, join in the conversation. Because we talk about these topics and we have a big journaling program coming up. If it's after June of 2026, there's a playlist for it, which will be here after that happens. But in the meantime, just know that I'm super grateful that you watched this through till the end. I'm trying to think of the right word. I'm a writer and I can't think of the right word. I can't think of any word. I am so grateful for the person that you are, that is devoted, committed to living fully at any and every age and stage. The world is a better place because you are in it. Thank you so much for watching.